Welcome back to Arxflix. Today, we're exploring a thought-provoking paper titled Right for the Wrong Reasons: Diagnosing Syntactic Heuristics in Natural Language Inference. This research dives into the world of natural language inference, or NLI, to examine whether models are making correct predictions for the wrong reasons, essentially, relying on shallow heuristics rather than understanding the language deeply. Imagine this. A model answers correctly just by identifying certain words, not by genuinely grasping the meaning of sentences. That's the crux of heuristics. This paper investigates three specific syntactic heuristics in NLI: lexical overlap, subsequence, and constituent heuristics. Let's dive into each one. The lexical overlap heuristic leads the model to assume a premise entails any hypothesis that shares the same words. For instance, if the premise is, "The doctor was paid by the actor," and the hypothesis is, "The actor paid the doctor," a model might incorrectly predict entailment, simply due to word overlap. Next, the subsequence heuristic assumes the premise entails any contiguous subsequences of its words. For example, "The doctor near the actor danced" might incorrectly lead to the inference, "The actor danced." Lastly, we have the constituent heuristic. This assumes that premises entail any complete subtrees in their parse trees. For example, the premise, "If the artist slept, the actor ran," might lead the model to incorrectly infer, "The artist slept." To diagnose whether models are falling for these heuristics, the authors introduced the Hans dataset, Heuristic Analysis for NLI Systems. This dataset explicitly targets and tests these heuristics. The paper evaluates 4 popular NLI models, including BERT, on the Hans dataset. Shockingly, these models, even the state-of-the-art BERT, performed very poorly on Hans, barely exceeding 0% accuracy in most cases. This research makes 3 key contributions. First, it introduces the Hans dataset to specifically test invalid heuristics in NLI models. Second, it highlights substantial shortcomings in state-of-the-art models. Third, it shows that these shortcomings can be alleviated by augmenting training datasets with examples similar to those in Hans. Let's talk about the experiment setup. The authors selected various models with different input representations: DA, SM, SBNN, and BERT. They then trained these models on the MNLI dataset and evaluated them using Hans. All models showed high scores on MNLA, but failed on Hans, indicating they were likely using the heuristics. The difficulty of the Hans dataset was confirmed by testing human participants. Mechanical Turk annotators had a 76% accuracy, while expert annotators had 97%. This highlights that Hans is indeed challenging, but solvable for humans, unlike for the models relying on heuristics. To further the research, the authors added Hans-like examples to the MNLI training set. The results were promising, with all models performing significantly better on Hans. This suggests that targeted datasets can indeed help models avoid shallow heuristics. To wrap up, this paper underscores that high performances of NLI models on standard datasets might be due to reliance on invalid heuristics. The Hans dataset serves as a critical tool for pinpointing these shortcomings and driving improvements. It's clear there's substantial room for growth in creating NLI models that truly understand language, instead of relying on superficial clues. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive into diagnosing syntactic heuristics in NLI. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next video on Arxflix. For further details, check out the full paper linked in the description below. Thanks a lot to Element for supporting Arxflix and providing this wonderful voice.